What's up, guys? I'm making a pre-market video just because I didn't make a daily recap yesterday, and also just the gap down. Get my thoughts out a little easier. Show you guys what I'm probably looking at. But I don't know if this was memory driven. It's not really anything driven because you could see the confluence in all these themes. Optoelectronics down, memory down, SPY. What are you down? I mean, SPY's gapping down 4. That's not small. QQQ's gapping down 9, 10. It's not small. There's confluence in a lot of these names. So you just got to chill. There's nothing we can do. I'm exposed, extremely exposed. I just have to relax right now. Actually, as I'm doing this, ASTS, that's a glitch. Can almost guarantee that's a glitch. Anyways, yeah, so SPY QQQ, let's look at like year to date real quick. Let's just, all we can do is where are we going to be? SPY is going to be under the MA, 9 MA. It's going to need 773 again to reclaim. QQQ. Also going to be under the 9 MA. It's a chill day. There's nothing to do. I'm also not going to be premature and just start selling the positions I have, I think how we close this week, especially, relative to what we just did today, how we react, that'll be a bigger tell. But QQQ and SPY could easily just keep developing here, hold these weeklies, keep it tight. Might get a little loose today, but it can still recover. But it's just developing. Might not be an aggressive time to start, swinging things like I tried to do. But it doesn't mean we can't trade. So that's all right. I'm just going to chill in the swings that I have. I'm probably going to, I'm expecting to take some losses on something, but this is why I went, I have September expirations on some of these, mid-September, 9-4, maybe just 9-4. Regardless, I have time. I've given myself this week to see how we react off of something like this. I've given myself even next week on some of these to see how we react off some of this, and I'll assess from there. So I don't really think I'll be adding anything today. But just in terms of like trades, for example, MU reclaims 971, 981 today. It's over all the moving averages again. So don't overthink it. If it gets over 981 as well, not only do you have moving averages underneath it on the daily, now you have 1, 2 monthly levels under your entry points. It's 5 forms of support going in your favor. So I'm not sure if I'm going to add. There's potential I add to MU. Like I'm not as fully exposed as I could be. Just from the perspective, I don't mind being in, across all of my options at one given point, 30K. That's not unheard of for what I've been doing recently. So if I got up to there, I really wouldn't mind it. You figure I'm near like 25 already right now, so that's not even saying I'd start adding crazy. Keep in mind, I'm also probably going to be down about 15 off the open right now on all of my open positions. So like it happens, but I'm not going to make that rash decision, just close everything at the lows today. Sure, we could go lower. If we go lower, we go lower. That's part of the game too. But I've given myself enough time to the point where I can give this a few days. I can see how key levels react after being tested a second time. I consider this a stress test right now in the market. What we do in the next 2 days off of this gap down is going to be big. There's no big news drivers. Sure, something can be announced, but there's no big earnings. So, let's just see. I don't know. Nobody knows. That's kind of the whole point. I don't know, but I'm willing to take the risk, I guess you can say. So I'm not going to sell any of my positions prematurely today. I'll just watch. And yeah, I possibly add MU over 981. I think that's really that's it. Like NBIS looks strong, and I know it had a quarterly against it. So if you like NBIS over 276 can also go to that, start pushing back towards 300. But you could target that pre-market from yesterday near 285. Certainly looked the best, but wait for it to get over. Other than that, yeah, I'm not adding anything today. Even if 10-300 set up, I'm not going to do anything. I have, just a perspective. I told you the dollar amount, but on top of the dollar amount, the dollar amount's almost the less important part here. It's really the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9 open trades right now. The uncomfortable part about that isn't the dollar amount, but it's the fact that I don't think I can manage 9 trades as effectively as as I could if it was 5. Typically once I get over like 6 trades, you know, I start having to scroll on my options chain on my phone. And that's when I get a little flustered. So maybe I'll cut some of the small positions, or like even these MU 1020s. I closed up. Where is it? Not the 1020s. Some MUs I was still up almost 70%. So if I'm near break even or barely down on those, unfortunately, that sucks that I gave it all back. But I'll take the loss. I'll decrease some of the positions I'm in just so I can effectively, manage and look at the other ones. But yeah, that's really the only thing. That's kind of the thought process today. Manage a couple small paper cuts maybe, um, and then possibly add to MU if it gets over 981. That's really it. And then NBIS over that quarterly looks pretty good. But SPY QQQ under the 9. Understand that. So if they're in between the 9 and 21, it's not necessarily bearish, but it's not risk on anymore. You're not in the top bullish environment. But you should still try to focus on things that are over the 9, 21, and 50, because that might be what wants to lead when we do get back over, if we reclaim. So yeah, we'll see what happens, but I just wanted to make a video just to put my thoughts out there, and I didn't want to make it long at all. So you should be able to watch this, still break down. I'll still post some charts in the pre-market plan, but I hope this helps.